So before we begin, I hope you have this algebra tile handout in front of you, either printed or copied in your notebook. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the dimension of each of these tiles, and I'm going to show you how to use them online from your CPM class website. And you will have access to this, and we'll be using them during our class next week. So this is the page where you will have algebra tiles. As you can see here, we have x square, xy tile, x tile, y square, 1, and a y tile. So let's start with the x square tile. For x square, both sides are x. This side is x, and this side length is also x. So they are actually variables, and x times x is x squared. Now, variable means the sides can change. So notice as I make the x's bigger or smaller, the sides will change. Therefore, these are variables, okay? Now, for the y square tile, this purple one right here, this side will be y, and this side will be y. So y times y is y squared. And this is also variable. So again, as I change the y size, notice the size of the tile changing. It's a variable tile, okay? Now, 1 is not a variable tile. How can the area of a square be 1? Well, this side has to be 1, and this side has to be 1. And that will never change. This is going to be important. So for example, if I put 1 right here, okay, and if I change the size of the x tile, notice the 1 does not change, right? So that is just a 1 tile. It's not a variable. For the x tile, okay, this length is x, and we can compare that to see how this x matches up with this x tile, right? So this side of the tile is x, but what about this side? What would be the length? The bottom length of 1 does not change. Therefore, this length is going to be 1. Now, your handout has x to horizontal tile. What you can do is you can double click. It actually changes its orientation. So now this side will be x, and this side will be length of 1. With the y tile, same thing. I'm going to double click to change its orientation. And now this longer side is going to be y. And you can assume that this side over here, the shorter side, is going to be 1. And again, that will never change. So if I were to change the length of the y, notice it still remains 1, but the variable y changes. Okay, and then as for the xy tile, if you notice, if I'm going to put these together, oops, if I rotate, this length here is y, and it matches up with the length of the xy tile. So this is going to be y. And this length is actually going to be the same as the x tile length. Therefore, this length is going to be x. An area of x times y gives you an xy tile. Okay, and again, just wanted to briefly show you that when you double click the tile, it changes its rotation. If you only click it once, it turns into a negative tile, okay? We're mostly not going to work with negative tiles, so don't worry about them, but you will be expected to change orientations, and you will be required to build larger and larger rectangles using them. So copy down these dimensions, and we'll go into our next lesson.